All right, everybody, back with another episode of the Steelers Chat. And today we have Josh Carney from Carney. I feel like I messed
Nope,
it up
you're
already.
good. You're good.
Carney from
You're
the
good.
Steelers Depot. I was practicing, but obviously not enough. But how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm so happy to have you on the show here today. We got a lot to talk about.
We do. Thank you so much for having me. I'm a big fan of what you do. I've been following. I saw you had my colleague Alex Kazora on a few weeks ago. So, just a
Yeah.
big fan of what you do. Glad to have you as part of Steeler Nation, and yeah, excited to talk football with you today.
Thank you. I'm not used to the whole fan thing. That's so weird to me, but I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. And I love
Yeah.
you guys at Steelers Depot.
Well, thank you.
You guys are so thorough and it's just, a delight and refreshing to see what you guys put out there every day. So I want to make sure I shout you and the rest of the team out there. You guys are great.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Yeah, we love what we do. I mean, I was just on the show Monday, and we get to talk Steelers football all day, every day. I mean, what can be better than that right now?
Right. It's a it could be better, but
Yes, it could, but we get to talk Steelers football. That's all
yeah,
that matters to
and
me.
the
They
joy.
could,
It's joy in that no matter where the team is sitting, I find joy in it. And we'll start with what happened Sunday night against the Miami Dolphins, which I thought was going to be a great game for us, a very winnable game for us.
mhm.
But unfortunately, we didn't come away with the win. I took some wins out of this game. What did you see, and what are you optimistic about?
I'm still optimistic about the defense moving forward. I know those first three drives were a little scary, just how easily the Dolphins moved the football down the field, especially on that first drive. It felt like the Steelers defense was guessing the entire time. But I'm still really optimistic about that group overall, especially in the secondary. I think it was it the Buccaneers game? They were missing a bunch of guys, and they
Yep.
really simplified it. And that seems to be working. I mean, Minka Fitzpatrick after the game on Sunday said, it was just a really simple game plan, and it allowed us to play fast and free. And I think sometimes teams need to go through those things where
Yeah.
the coaches are forced to simplify it, and then you see the players respond in a positive way. And we saw that again Sunday. I thought the secondary was good outside of the four dropped interceptions.
Yeah.
They did a really good job bottling up Tyreek Hill. Jalen Waddle got loose a few times, but outside of that, they did a really good job against the Dolphins offense. Still no pass rush. I'm sure we'll
Yeah.
talk about that here in a bit, but
Yeah. There's
outside of
hope.
yeah, there's some hope. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel with that, but yeah, outside of that, just really optimistic about the defense, and as weird as it may sound, I feel kind of optimistic about the offense right now.
I do. I do. It's not weird. It's probably weird to people that aren't watching. But
Yeah.
everyone, the talent. They have the weapons. I mean, I'm comfortable with the backs. Both of them, right? Your receivers, you got a good solid receiver room. Like I am so confident that they can eventually get it going. I don't know what's gonna take. It's probably gonna be plays that they're comfortable, but Yak is missing and
Oh,
Yak needs to happen.
yeah, it's very painful to watch other offenses across the league, and you see receivers being hit in stride, and there's those yak opportunities, and there's all this space, after the catch. You watch the Steelers offense, and they're laboring to create space or to pick up yards, and it's not going to change anytime soon. As much as Matt Canada wants to believe that they're very close and they can be a tremendous offense, it's not going to change overnight. It's not going to change in the bye week. But yeah, you look at this roster offensively, 1 through 3 at receiver. I don't know how you couldn't feel good about that, even if you're not as
Yeah.
in on Chase Claypool as others. George Pickens looks like an absolute guy at this point, a star in the making. Deontay Johnson, for as much flack as he catches from this fan base, I think is still a bona fide number one receiver.
Yeah.
I there are two players that I tend to defend a ton on social media, and I get my mentions become a cesspool. One is Devin Bush, and one is Najee Harris.
Me too. I just
I
I
I
definitely
just
would go to work for the both of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can't quit those two. Najee Harris, I saw flashes of 2021 Najee last on Sunday.
Yeah.
Um, you
He
know,
looked way more comfortable and making those
yes,
runs and those efforts
yes.
than I've seen this season. So I think there's like probably a huge sense of urgency for him to like, look, I gotta get it done. So yeah, and Devin Bush, I definitely, there's no doubt. Like I think everyone knows that I'm going to defend Devin Bush, and he's been playing up to the standard to me.
Yeah, he has, and that raises the question: is it good enough? And that's a whole nother discussion. But I think Devin Bush has been a lot better this year than he has been in his career. But with Najee, I mean, yeah, the run game takes time. It's there's two new pieces on the offensive line. It's a new offensive line coach. You've got a rookie quarterback in there who, teams are stacking the box against the run game to force Kenny Pickett to throw.
Hmm.
It's going to take time, but I think Najee's fully healthy now. Taking that steel plate out of his shoe looked like it did wonders for him. I still am in on him as a legitimate top 10 running back in this league.
For
It's
sure.
just so hard to judge him in this offense right now because it's so basic and predictable. And like I said, I don't know if it changes anytime soon.
Yeah, I said I don't typically do like a Monday after kind of thing. I kind of wait things out and to give my opinion, but I did do my first Monday after,
Mm-hmm.
and I said this offense, they just have to learn. They have to
Yep.
figure it out. They're gonna go up against different defenses. They're gonna learn things from it, and it's gonna be a bunch of practices and a lot of practices. But hopefully they can figure out ways to get wins out of them and figure out ways to communicate with these receivers, and can he get
Mm-hmm.
comfortable with putting them in the right positions. That has to happen, and him also being a little bit more comfortable with using his legs. I know defenses are making it hard for him, but he's gonna get more comfortable in knowing when to take off.
Yeah, I agreed with you. Obviously, the this is a whether people want to hear this or not, it's a transition year. Like
Yeah.
you can't ride the roller coaster week after week. You kind of just have to step back and say, okay, this is a really young offense. They have their rookie quarterback in there. For better or worse, this is going to be what it is the rest of the season. You
This is
just
it.
gotta, yeah, you gotta roll with it, and you gotta evaluate. You can't confirm what he is or isn't. You just have to step back and stay patient and just evaluate his performance on a week to week basis, and not ride that emotional wave that sometimes fans can ride of, oh, he's the savior. He comes in against the Jets and it was like, wow, this kid is special, and then Buffalo, he didn't do anything. Tampa Bay gets hurt, and then it's, do they go back to Mitch Trubisky? And then obviously with this last one, the 2 interceptions, they don't have it. He's not the guy. You just
Too
have
early
to,
to tell.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's way too early. He's had 3 starts. He's played
Yeah.
12 quarters of football.
And
I
they're
mean,
like, oh, he's top, what is it, 7 or 3 or something. I forgot the number in
in completion
interception,
percentage. Oh,
right?
in interceptions,
And
yeah.
interceptions. And I'm
Yeah.
like, the man started 3 games. One of them, like, and all interceptions on QBs are not necessarily their fault.
Right. Right.
And at the end of games, of course they get tallied up, but you're just trying to do the best thing to get your team in position to win. And I hate that it's being looked at like that, because
Yeah.
it's just, he has so much to learn. That's why I wanted him to sit this year, so he could not have
Yeah.
to deal with this. But at the same time, I get kind of getting the reps in and getting
Mhm.
familiar with those guys too.
I think it's short-term pain right now. Like, yeah, it stinks to see him struggle the way he has, especially with those 2 interceptions late in the game. But
Yeah.
in the end, it's for that long-term gain. I mean, he is gaining valuable reps right now. He's making costly mistakes. Don't get me wrong, they are costly mistakes, but they're happening in a year where the expectations
Hello.
probably shouldn't be that high. Yeah, they should be low. The Steelers really at 2-5. Yes, they could go on a run. I don't think they're legit contenders. I'm sorry. They're not contenders. Um, for him to experience these growing pains now in a season where they are clearly transitioning and it will have him ready for when they're ready to contend, I don't see how that's anything but a win for him.
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just have a fan base that is so used to this, and
Yeah.
I think that's where the problem really lies. If you talk to the experts, if you talk to a lot of the media, the expectations weren't there. Everyone telling you it's a transition, you're moving on,
Mm-hmm.
but you have a fan base that is so used
Yeah.
to winning,
Yeah.
and you
They
gotta.
don't want to hear it.
Yeah, they don't. They're spoiled, a spoiled fan base.
Yes, yes,
Um,
they are.
So what I will do is we'll kind of go on to that little bit of light and glimmer that we have there
Yep. Yep.
this week against the Eagles, because I guarantee you nobody has us winning this week.
I would be stunned if anyone has picked the Steelers to beat the Eagles, unless it's like you are full on homer and really just trying to zag when people are zigging. Like I can't see anyone picking the Steelers right now, unless I think we're going to get into it.
Yeah, unless there's a TJ Watt sighting.
Yep.
I would
Yeah.
go put your, if you're a better, I would go put your money on the Steelers now, just in case. Put a couple dollars over there, just in case. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's, a guarantee, but hey, you're gonna spend it on worse things. Why not split on the Steelers?
Yeah, throw $5 down. I mean, that's a Starbucks coffee. Who knows with inflation at this point? But
Right,
usually
exactly.
that's a
It's
Starbucks
definitely
coffee.
barely a
So
gallon of gas.
yeah.
So
So, but yeah, TJ was in the locker room today, and obviously they had his 21-day window start on Wednesday for his return from the injured reserve list.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
He didn't roll out playing on Sunday. I would be shocked, honestly, if he
Uh-huh.
went from practicing 2 or 3 days to playing in an NFL game. But as
Well,
Mike,
so he's been out there, right? Like not
right,
full on practicing. You've seen glimpses of TJ just out running around, doing whatever. Who knows what he's doing, outside of the cameras.
right,
Um, and I know he wants to be out there. Like this team has only won one game without him
mm-hmm.
over the history of him being a part of the team. Like, so I just think that sense of urgency for him is there. But I know the Steelers know how valuable he is, so they're probably not trying to rush him. But he didn't rule it out, so we got to be optimistic about that.
Yeah, as Mike Tomlin likes to say, he's an alien visiting from another planet, and if that guy is telling you he's ready to go, I don't know how you say, yeah, you can't go. So even if he's on a pitch count, even if
He's
he's
gonna be limited.
yeah, even if
There's
he's
no doubt in
15 to
my
20
mind.
snaps, like
Yeah.
you
There's
take that all
no
day.
doubt in my mind. This guy's gonna be limited. They limited him last year when he was suffering through the groin
Yes.
and which for some reason wasn't enough snaps for somebody else. But anyway, I won't get into that.
Real side note on that. I won't mention him by name, but
Yeah.
there were media members talking about the impact that man had in the game, and how did they let him get away? Like, there's a dead horse, and they were just beating it. Like, move on. He's with a different team. He's on his second team since the Steelers. Yeah, he's a good player, but they weren't
Yeah, I mean,
thinking.
ultimately, you want someone there that wants to be there. Like my favorite saying from Mike Tomlin: "We want volunteers, not hostages."
Yep.
So if you want to be here, you want to be here. We know
Exactly.
TJ Watt wants to be here, and we want him out there.
Yeah.
So, and it's a game changing because Philly has a game plan for him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I love what's happening. Even if he doesn't go out there, I love the fact that there is opportunity for them to be like, well, he might play. So if this happens, then this needs to happen. So I love that for us.
I think it's great, honestly. I mean, I did the tape study on the Eagles offense this week, and they are very good. Like, they, no joke, can run the heck out of the football. They are fantastic at the RPO. Jalen Watts is an incredible quarterback this year. Getting a guy like TJ Watt back against an RPO heavy team, you can run that mesh charge where you sprint at the quarterback and hit him constantly. Yeah. Jalen Hurts, yes, he's as strong as they come at the position. You're going to hear 100 times on the broadcast on Sunday that he squats 600 pounds and all that. Like, he is a freak athlete. He is so strong, but you can only take so many hits in a game.
Yeah.
And if they're going to run that RPO a ton, the Steelers have to do that mesh charge, blow it up, hit Hurts every single time. And Watt is incredible at that. Like, his closing speed is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like,
if you get him on this side and then you get some blitzing from Millette, because I mean you've seen that from him. And Alex Highsmith, oh man, it's a thing of beauty. I miss it.
You can talk yourself into it. Like, it's not hard to say, yeah, with the best player in football on the defensive side of the ball back in the lineup, like, you got a shot. And I mean, that's going to help a secondary that's probably going to be without Levi Wallace this week, unfortunately. That might help a defensive front that is probably going to be without Larry Ogunjobi as well. So even if it's 15 snaps, Get him out there. Let him run
It's still a
around.
threat. It's still a threat. Like
Yeah. And then he's got the
he
bye
is
week
what
to
he
see how his
is.
body responds. Like it's a
Yeah.
win-win.
Yeah. I can't be mad at it either way. Of course, I'm not even gonna say it. I'm taking it
Nope.
back. I'm
Nope.
taking the thought back. Anyway. The problem for me is our defense has not been playing atrocious. We'll throw out the Bills game, right?
Yeah.
Um, they haven't been playing badly. They gave the offense so many opportunities to win this game and shutting Miami out last week. That's where my concern is on the offensive side of the ball. We gotta get in the end zone,
Yeah.
and that's where I think we're still gonna struggle. We cannot get 21 points. Like it's mission impossible at this point.
It really
And
is.
I'm like, how do you fix that? How do you encourage that? And how do you encourage a fan base that's just tired that, you're gonna get it done?
Yeah. Again, I don't know how it gets fixed. I think you need to stop asking Kenny Pickett to throw 40 plus times a game. And that turns the attention back to the run game.
Yeah.
I think against the Dolphins, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they had a ton of success when Pickett was under center and they were running off tackle.
Yeah. That's why I made my I made my reels just like, yo, run the ball. Like,
Yeah.
come on. We got to run the ball. I think you just have a dynamic duo that is underrated right now just because of the reflection of what the Steelers record is right now.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a good duo. Jalen and Najee together.
Yep.
I am so optimistic about what they can do. I'm excited for it. And I would really, really love if we use it more.
Yeah, I'm very high on that duo as well. Like I said
Mhm.
earlier, I'm still very much in on Najee Harris. I think we saw flashes last week. They cannot ask him to run out of shotgun though,
Yeah.
because that's not his game. You want to run out of shotgun, you run Jalen Warren there because he puts his foot in the ground and he goes.
Yeah.
That's not a knock on Najee Harris. I think Najee Harris is much better where he has to come downhill to get the football from under center. That gives him that runway in a sense that allows him to press the line of scrimmage. Where is when they run out of gun and that they're kind of working their RPO game, you're asking Najee to basically pick and choose his hole.
Hmm.
And I mean, fair or not, his vision isn't the greatest at the position. So you have to have him just press the line of scrimmage quickly from under center rather than asking him to, basically look at the defense and say,
And try to
okay,
find your way through.
yeah,
Yeah.
because by the time it happens, he's got a defender in his face, and then you're asking him to not only break a tackle but gain positive yards, and it's just it's not a play that works, and
Yeah,
that's
it's
why
not
it's
it
so
hasn't
frustrating.
been efficient for us.
Right.
And I can see it. And that's what I'm saying. Like you have two guys here that complement each other, where one is weak, the other is strong, and you
Mm-hmm.
guys figure that out. Like if you can figure that out, I think the run
Yeah.
game is solid. But it's just, I think that's one aspect where they're kind of close. If I could take something from everyone saying that they're close, that I think they're close at. They're
Mm-hmm.
not far.
Yeah. I got to ask you about your boy Minka Fitzpatrick though.
Yeah, sure.
Two things.
Okay.
That hit on Raheem Mostert.
Yes.
Do you think that set the tone for the defense the rest of the game?
I want to say no. Like I just feel like that was the tone all along, and it just it probably did re-energize them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted him to get an interception.
Yeah, I did too.
I needed that
Yeah.
from him. But I don't know if it set the tone. It just probably just re-energized them.
Mm-hmm.
But it oh man, that I watched that hit like actually not too long ago. Because I just wanted to get a clear hit because he's done that before. It's not the
Yeah.
first time Nick has done that. He's gotten penalties for that same exact hit. So, no, I just feel like that's the standard.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to use familiar words, that's the
Yeah.
standard.
Yeah, I think it just helped shut down the middle of the field. I think
Yeah,
it does something psychologically for the opponent when you watch your teammate get absolutely rocked out of his
yeah.
shoes,
You don't
where
want to
it's
go
like,
back that
yeah,
way
I
again.
don't know if I want to go over there.
Yeah.
The other question is regarding Minka. Do you think he has found another level to his game? I don't think that the quote unquote splash plays are there a ton like they were when he was first here. Granted, he has what, 3 interceptions this year.
Yeah.
But do you think he's found another level as that center field type safety and a guy that can come down in the box and bang with the best of them in a sense?
I do, because I think what we didn't see maybe in the beginning, but now it's like he's become like a real leader in that defense.
Mm-hmm.
You had Joe Hayden, and you still have Cam on there, but I just feel like that area of the field, that secondary, and wherever you find Minka, he's going to lead. He's going to set an example. He's going to get there. He's going to support whoever he needs to support in that play, and last year the guy was just everywhere.
Yeah.
Leading the team in tackles is just disgusting.
Yeah.
At that position. But he was everywhere that ball was. Minka Fitzpatrick was, and he's a little bit freed up because Miles Jack is doing a lot of that work.
Mm-hmm.
So and then and Devin Bush is doing better too, but he's still just a dominant presence. I think his game has changed just because he's a little bit more freer.
Yeah.
And he probably can be a lot more vocal. Where I think last year he was just like, man, I'm just gonna have to do it, versus kind of getting guys and having guys do it. So.
I think this year with him, I have noticed that he not only is communicating a lot more with teammates, but he is chirping at opponents a heck of a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm an Alabama fan, and I watched every snap that he ever played at Alabama. He was never really like that. I don't know if that was Nick Saban being like, "Hey, shut up and play football," but man,
I think Nick is just a quiet guy in general.
He is. But so, now, like this year,
yeah.
I think having that contract stuff out of the way and realizing that he's a legitimate leader on this defense. Like you even saw it week 1 against the Bengals.
Absolutely. I love that. You're right. You don't really see him talking a whole lot of trash, but you love to see it. And I love when, he'll get the interception. Like he what was that? The game against the Jets where they didn't call it an interception. They didn't call it. Yeah. A catch.
Oh,
He missed that one. Even when he makes those plays or he misses a play, he's so upset. He's so bothered. He's on the sideline kind of pacing back and forth in his head about, what he could have done better. And I think that's just great for the younger guys and the new guys to see and just, to absorb that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think he's for sure on pace to get back on that all-pro list again.
Yeah, sure.
Last year, the splash plays weren't there because he was basically an extra linebacker. That's how bad the defense was. But this year it feels like he's taken his game to another level, which is really hard to fathom because he was already at a very high level. But,
everyone wants to say he fell off last year because he didn't have the interceptions, but the man was like you said, an extra linebacker. It was a tackling monster.
Yeah. Thank you, Miami, for not knowing what you were doing.
I'm forever in debt to you. I wanted to beat you last week, but unfortunately, look, if I had to lose to you to continue to have this dog on our team, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I'm 100% with you. You guys can go ahead and celebrate your sham undefeated season in 14 games. We'll take Minka Fitzpatrick for the next decade.
Right. Legendary. He's gonna be getting number 39 is gonna be retired at some point.
I think so, and he is absolutely on a Hall of Fame pace right now, which is remarkable to say. They've got 3 defenders that most likely are going to be Hall of Famers at the end of their career.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So I just want to thank you, Josh, but I also want you to tell people where they can find you online and make sure you're tapping into Steelers Depot as well. So go ahead and let them know.
Yeah, so SteelersDepot.com. We do 7 days a week there. We turn out a ton of content. You can find them on Twitter at Steelers Depot. You can find me on Twitter at @ByJoshCarney right there on the screen. I do follow back. I engage. I'm not one of those big media members that doesn't tend to talk back to people. But Steelers Depot is where you can find me almost every day. Put up a lot of articles and really just love to talk football all day, every day on social media. So check me out on Twitter. And thank you so much for the opportunity. It was a blast. And hopefully we can do this again.
You're welcome anytime. But one last question. What's your prediction for...
I thought I was going to avoid it. I'll say Eagles 20, Steelers 19.
Dreadful game of 21. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm with you. I haven't.
I can't. I don't know how they get to 20 points.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I'm feeling like a something like a 16, 17, or
Yeah,
a 13, 19, or something like that. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
feeling something like that. I don't know how
Yeah,
you hold the Eagles that low. Um, uh, it might change by tomorrow, but my
yeah,
score prediction might change by tomorrow. But I don't know how you hold the Eagles that low. But we were able to do it with Miami, who was pretty, scoring. They put up 40 plus on the Ravens. I don't know, but
yeah.
anyway, anything's
Similar
possible.
offense. So
Yeah,
similar offense, similar scheme, but I still trust Mike Tomlin to have those guys ready.
yeah, oh yeah.
So we'll see.
Best of luck to the guys. I'm never gonna completely doubt them. I'm almost always optimistic. So go in there and get it done, guys.
Yep,
But thank you
absolutely.
again, Josh.
Yep, not a problem.
All right, have a good day.
You too.